friendsies, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to work on a nightstand that has a lot of particle board and a plasticky laminate veneer on top. So I want to show you that even though I don't love that kind of stuff, you definitely can make it over and just make it look nicer so that you can continue to use it instead of buying something that may not be the best quality anyway. But before we get to that, let me announce who the winner is of the raffle. From a couple weeks ago, we hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and so as an appreciation, I wanted to gift one of you guys that watches my videos a quart of paint and a quart of sealer so that you can work on a project of your own. And so let's get to that part first.
Hey there, Catalina Dainty Designers. We're here to do the raffle for the YouTube comments, brother.
Oh my God.
It's a contest to thank everybody for helping us reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And we got the contestants right here.
It was only 8. I told you guys it was going to be good chances.
Blanca didn't want to put any makeup on, so she felt that I would look better on camera anyways. So
especially
here we
with
are.
that hair.
So here we are, and
do you want me to hold your beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, brother. All right, friends. We're gonna draw this name out here. This looks like a good one. And the winner of the 1 quart of paint and 1 quart of sealer is...
Don't mess up the name. What is it?
It's backwards.
What is it?
Donna Watson?
Right? Oh, yeah, she does. Anod something, right?
Anod Notstar.
Yeah.
Anod Notstar.
I think it is Donna
Watson. Congratulations. And we wish you the best of luck on your project. And we hope you enjoy the paint and the sealer. And
thank you for watching.
Always keep building, brother.
Sister?
Sister. Hell yeah.
Congratulations! I am so excited for you to use this paint. You are going to love it, and I'm also really excited for you to get to work on your project. So thank you again, and thank you to all of you who watch my videos. So now let's get back to this one. Okay. If you saw my video about the tips of things that I look for whenever I choose furniture to make over, you would know that I generally don't work with things that are made out of particle board, MDF, or that have this plasticky veneer on top. Not because you can't, but because I choose not to. I think there's better things already made that I can salvage and put my energy towards, and so usually I will pass this stuff up. But there's a few exceptions to the rule. Of course, there's always exceptions. That's the case with this one. There's nothing wrong with it other than it's a little tired and outdated looking. We're just gonna give it a makeover, and I wanna show you that you can work with this stuff, particularly if you already own something like this, or if you find it for really cheap, or somebody gives it to you and it's in really good shape. Why not? Yes, you're gonna need a primer because of what it's made of. Yes, you're gonna need the paint, the primer, and the top coat. And if you're thinking, Blanca, that's not really all that cheap. Well, first of all, did you know my name is actually Blanca, not Catalina? Hi, nice to meet you. I named my business after my grandmother, Rosa Catalina, because she inspired me a lot. She was a very strong lady, very creative, and I think that's where I get it from. But my name is actually Blanca. So these are a couple of examples of the ones I used, the Wise Out Primer and the Slick Stick. The Slick Stick from Dixibel definitely adheres to plastic and whatever. The Wise Out Primer you definitely have to test a little bit, but if you scuff sanding, it should adhere with no problem. I like this because these are the paints that I use, and I prefer to order everything from one place and not have to pay shipping from multiple places, or also not have to go buy it separately, unless you already have it, of course. If you're thinking, Blanca, that's not really gonna be all that cheap, let me tell you something. The 1 pint of paint that you buy, or the quart, will last you for multiple projects. If you just buy a pint, you'll have enough for this and maybe picture frames, a lamp, a little chair, anything you can get your hands on, you can paint with the paint that you buy. And when you start painting things and having things that go together and match, then you have a decor that is more intentional, that looks more cohesive, more elegant, more on
Case
purpose.
in point, this is how much I have left after painting that one nightstand. It is a quart of paint, so I barely used it. This is especially true whenever you buy good quality, highly pigmented paint, such as this one. I'm not a huge fan of Rust-Oleum chalk paint because I don't think it's the best quality, but I understand the appeal. Anyway, if you choose to pay a little bit more for a better quality paint, I promise you it would go a long way.
So even though I still think it will be cheaper than buying something already made, and also you won't be contributing to fast furniture practices, deforestation, trash piles on the landfills, wasteful society, throwaway society. Okay, enough of that, let's get to this. The first thing that we're going to do is, per usual, the usual, clean it really well so that everything adheres properly.
Alright, you guys know that handles make a huge difference, so I'm not going to use this ones again. I think they're pretty outdated, but I am going to take them off and clean the piece with Green Easy Cleaner. You can also use down dish soap, water and vinegar. Just make sure whatever you use, you remove with plain water and on a wet rag before you start painting so that everything adheres properly. No residue is what you want.
Okay, I am going to use Wise Owl's Stain Eliminating Primer. I have the clear one just because that's what I have on hand, but it comes in different colors, and depending on what you're painting, it might be beneficial to try a different color instead.
I just want to make sure that you guys know that I did scuff sand it. Scuff sanding it means that you're just going to scuff it up with some sandpaper to make sure that the paint or primer has something to grab onto, particularly if it's plastic or super shiny. It is not going to stick if you don't do this step. So scuff sand it. I use 180 grit sandpaper and then I primed.
I hope that you guys can see that there is some brush strokes, there is some dust particles that got trapped in the paint or in the primer. There is a biggie hair right here. So this is the reason why you always want to sand in between coats. If you want a smooth finish, you have to sand. There's just no way around that. Okay, so I let the primer dry overnight, and now I'm just going to lightly sand it. This is 220 grit and it's really worn out, so barely anything. What you really want to do is knock out any like debris that may be trapped on the surfaces, you know, like cat hair, anything that can be trapped in there that may affect like the smoothness of your finish. You can usually feel it when you run your hands over it.
For my paint color, I'm going to use Wise Owl in the color Gray Linen, and as you can see, it's definitely very thick, highly pigmented, and a beautiful neutral color. I'm going to use my usual Whisker Shortcut Pro brush. It is a synthetic brush, and I love using this one. I love the short handle, and I also always have my misting bottle, my water bottle next to me, so like I can thin out the paint and spread it out a little bit easier. Like I said, this paint is really pigmented, so if you thin it out a little bit, it'll be just fine. And you actually want nice thin coats instead of heavy buildup, because then you're gonna have crackling, it's not gonna dry properly, and so you want to be on the safe side and always apply really thin coats. I am going to go in every direction to get full coverage, and once I have full coverage, I come back and smooth it out with a very light touch. That is how I minimize my brush strokes generally. Chalk style paints dry really fast, so usually a couple hours is plenty for your second coat. So once it dries to the touch, I'm going to lightly sand it again with 220 grit, just so that I can knock off any excess debris. we've talked about this, and then I can go ahead and apply my second coat. I actually added a little bit of water to my paint, the one that I poured out, so that it will be thinner to begin with. And again, I always have my misty bottle. This makes it easier to work and spread out, spread around, so you always see me do that, and I definitely recommend it so that it's easier to glide and you don't have to put so much pressure on your brush, because that will leave more pronounced brush strokes. Of course, we sand in between coats. You already know this. Again, 220 or 320, something fine, just to remove any debris that may have fallen in there. And you don't always see me dusting or wiping away the dust, but believe me, that is not a step we can skip. So I cleaned off the dust, and now it's time to use a top coat. I am gonna use Wise Owl's 1 Hour Clear Enamel Satin, because I have left over from whenever I painted my bathroom floors, and oh my god, this stuff is amazing. It is 90% cure within an hour, and yes, I have put it to a test. I love this stuff. It is pricey, but it's worth it. Anyway, the main thing with this top coat is that it dries so fast, again within an hour, that you have to work quickly and you cannot overwork it, and then you have to maintain a wet edge. That way your brush doesn't drag and doesn't leave like a cloudy, bumpy mess. So work quickly in small sections and maintain a wet edge. And let me show you the final look. It looks so nice. Don't mind my handle, I did correct it. It was a little loose, so it looked crooked, but I fixed it, don't worry. Look how pretty!
Today, guys, thank you for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and all of that stuff. The more interaction I get, the more YouTube will push my channel to other people that are interested in the stuff that I do, so that helps a ton if you have the time to do it. And that's it. Until next time, okay, love you, bye!
Was that you living in someone else's dreams?